There are 4 parts to question 1, A, B, C and D. Here's question 2. So we have Peter and Neve go to a large school. One morning they arrive early. While they are waiting, they decide to guess whether each of the next 3 students to come in the door will be a boy or a girl. Write out the sample space showing all the possible outcomes. So if we're writing B for boy and G for girl, well, each of the 3 people coming in could be a boy or a girl, so it's going to be boy boy boy, boy boy girl, boy girl boy, and so on. So that's all we have to do. So just get started. So question 1, part 1. Well, it could be boy boy boy, boy boy girl. Well, first of all, each of them, there's 2 possibilities. So it's 2, 4, 8. So there's only 8 possibilities. So we want to make sure at the end that we have 8. So you have boy boy boy, boy boy girl, boy girl boy, boy girl girl. So that's 4 possibilities. Now we basically want these 4 except with the first one being a girl. So girl boy boy, girl boy girl, girl girl boy, girl girl girl. So that's 8, and we knew at the start that there's 2 possibilities for each, so there's 2, 4, 8. So that should be the entire list of possible outcomes. So that's our sample space. So checking the question again, write out the sample space showing all the possible outcomes, which is what we did. Now on to part B. Peter says these outcomes are equally likely. Neve says that they are not. What do you need to know about the students in the school to decide which of them is correct? Well, off the top of my head, if everyone in the class except Peter was a girl, then all the outcomes would not be equally likely. So therefore, Neve would be right. So what would we need to know about the students in the school? Well, we need to know what the distribution, or how many boys and girls are there in the class. If it's 50-50, if there are as many boys as girls in the class, then Peter would be right. So that's all we'd write. We need to know the number of boys and girls in the class. Part C. If all the outcomes are equally likely, what is the probability that the 3 students will be 2 girls followed by a boy? So part 2 was the number of boys and girls in the class. For the how many, or what do we need to know to decide whether Peter was right. So if we want the probability that we're going to get girl, girl, boy, well, if all 8 are equally likely, then the probability should be 1 over 8. So right, probability that we get girl, girl, boy is 1 over 8. Because that's the only outcome where this will be correct, while all 8 are equally likely. If all the outcomes are equally likely, what's the probability? So then we're allowed to assume that they all are, and then the answer is 1 over 8. Neve guesses that there will be at least one girl among the next 3 students. Peter guesses that the next 3 students will be either 3 boys or 2 boys and a girl. Who is more likely to be correct? So we just count in how many outcomes, or in how many cases would Neve be right, and in how many cases would Peter be right, and then from that we're able to answer who is more likely to be correct. So in Neve's case, she's saying there will be at least one girl among the next 3 students. So this is part 4. And Neve says that there'll be at least one girl. So that would be correct. At least one girl, at least one girl, at least one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Neve right in 6 cases. Peter right in, well, I'll check, what did Peter say? Peter says the next 3 students will be either boys or two boys and a girl. So 2 boys and a girl. So Peter will be right if that's the case. Peter will be right if you get 2 boys and a girl. So that's 2 boys and a girl. And that's 2 boys and a girl. So there are 4 cases when Peter would be right. So that means that Neve is more likely to be right. Because each of these 8 cases are equally likely. So Neve is going to be right in 3/4 of the time, while Peter will be right half the time. And in fact, I've made a mistake, because Neve said that there will be at least one girl. See, Neve guesses that there will be at least one girl among the next 3 students. So she would also be right here, because there is a girl. She would only be wrong if 3 boys came. So she'd be right in 7 cases. So I was right to say that Neve is more likely to be right, but I'd actually miscounted and not noticed that she would be correct in this case as well.